Have you seen any good examples of the board of directors involvement? So there's a big company project, an AI project, but have you seen it in your own experience working with a lot of technological companies? That's the first question. And I want to couple that with the DPOs are now asking, okay, fine, I know there are issues in AI. What are some of the general privacy questions they should be asking? Over to you, Lynn.
Can I answer it in a slightly different framework, actually? I think you've got two sets of decisions that need to be made. So if you're an in-house lawyer, if you're a DPO, if you're an engineer, I'm guessing from what David just said, your job is to figure out what can be done. And if we talk about these fancy tax structures that have been so much in the news, I can figure out how to do them. I'm a tax lawyer, right? It's not up to me as a lawyer or a DPO or an engineer to figure out just because it can be done, whether it should be done. Or if I turn that the other way around, it's not for me to decide as an in-house lawyer to filter my advice so that I only tell the board or the CEO or whoever the decision maker is, oh, these are the things that I think you should do. It should be very much a bifurcated decision. I, the DPO, the engineer says these are things that can be done. The board, or by delegation to the CEO, is going to say these are our ethical principles. We'll make the decision about what should be done. And by the way, we'll give you some frameworks to think about this. Maybe, in data protection, we talk about a data protection steering committee. Maybe you need an ethics committee so that as you're doing the process that David just described, it's an iterative one. Should I link this or should I not? I can as an engineer. What's your ethical decision? What am I answering to the board for on this? Because again, you're getting into, am I going to be, because I can do something and it makes the most money, does that mean I make that decision? Or does it mean that the board makes the decision whether it's going to do something that makes a lot of money, but might bring a lot of disaster down onto their heads like it has in Clearview?
Excellent. Just to close off that question, are there some general privacy questions relevant to AI? And that's where you will use the data protection principles. Look at the entire flow of how the AI algorithm works.
An overall comment on, I think Harper's been said the most on this about, if I can paraphrase, garbage in, garbage out. Who's doing the data protection work of looking after what's going into the model, what's being used to train the model? So yes, does that come up with biases or not and things like that? But there does seem to be a bit of neglect on that front end part. And I'm actually doing some work on a committee for the Law Council of Australia at the moment on looking at the training aspect of your model and the data that goes into that and the privacy aspects of that. So that I don't have any answers yet. We haven't got that far, but it is something we're looking at.
For more data protection resources, visit www.dpexnetwork.org, the Data Protection Excellence Network, and sign up for free as a member to have full access to all content. Do also like and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn if you found this useful.